And the reason that I say that, and a lot of people out there might jump back and go, whoa, what do you mean he doesn't exist? Because people don't even think of that possibility, that it's completely staged, and even right down to the very victims and actors playing the roles of the victims and all this stuff. So you have to ask these questions, because they've been caught in these lies over and over and over again. But it was definitely orchestrated, and the reason was, I think, as you said, which was a distraction. Look over here. That's why we've had Ebola, which was completely fraudulent, and people were freaking out and going, "Oh my God, there's going to be Ebola. They're going to release Ebola." No, they're not. Don't be stupid. Ebola is way too uncontrollable for them to release it. Okay.
Here's the other thing, and like 98% of the people out there do not know this, that the United States government actually holds the patent for Ebola.
Right.
Created it.
Mm-hmm. So then we had this whole scare about the 50,000 children that were crossing the border. And the first thing that I stepped back and asked is, wait a minute, this is supposed to be a Christian nation, right? Jesus said to embrace the little children and take care of them, not to close them off and send them back to go die in a hole. Right. And that's what all the people in the United States are saying. Oh, send those people back to die in the hole that they came from, which is very, very anti-Christian and anti-human. It's just completely immoral. But regardless, though, they try to use that too as a distraction. It's all one distraction after another, and then they tie all these in a lot. They say there's illegals in Ferguson, and then they have news reports where somebody's holding a sign up in the background of the reporter in Ferguson saying ISIS is here, as if that's the way that ISIS operates, that they're going to write signs up and they're going to hold them up and they're going to say, ISIS is here. They had another situation where they pulled over a car because it was holding a sign saying ISIS is here and trying to say what happened.
Oh, I don't remember exactly. Oh man!
I mean, it's that level of ridiculousness.
Yeah.
And so all you really have to do is just open your eyes to see what's going on. You don't have to understand occult energies and esoteric knowledge and rituals and invocations when you're saying, I challenge you blank 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 to the ice bucket challenge to raise alias. It's the invocation over and over and over again. Fear ISIS. See, it's a mass invocation. But you don't even have to understand that. You don't even have to go down that line of thinking, because the stuff that's going on the surface level is just so obvious and so ridiculous that if you just looked at it for a few minutes and started connecting dots, then you would realize that it's all a stage.
Right. Well, here's another thing. Right before December 22nd, 2012, when the supposed end of the world was supposed to happen, the end of Mayan calendar, weren't we trying to invoke Shiva, right? The destroyer. Because even the CERN, every time I saw like Hillary Clinton, I would see Shiva in the back. And then, there's this big statue of Shiva by the CERN collider. And we never invoked it, because I still believe that the collective consciousness, the collective unconsciousness is still heading down this positive timeline. And if we do, are trying to invoke Gaia or Isis or whatever you want to call her.
Lucy.
Lucy. Did you say Lucy?
Lucy, yeah. Mm-hmm. That's another name. Minerva, Athena.
Well,
Lilith.
Lilith. Well, that a lot of people don't even know the story of Lilith. I mean,
we can get into that if you'd like.
I would, if you haven't heard about Lilith, and this is a story that a lot of even Christians don't even know about, but basically it was the first two beings were Adam and Lilith. And Lilith was not, Lilith was created out of the sand just like Adam was. And they were supposed to be even partners. And Lilith got, she kind of wasn't digging on Adam, so she kind of took off on her own little thing, And, a lot of people have invoked the saying that Lilith was this demon, that she was, she was brought on by Satan or Lucifer or whatever you want to call it, and she went down that line, and now she's this evil goddess now. And Adam and Eve were we're going to put Adam and Eve in the Holy Bible, and now make sure that women are put at a lower level than men are.
Mm-hmm. Well, it's all allegories and metaphors when you really think about it. But even mainstream Christian researchers are starting to realize that the Adams were actually a race and not just one person. But what happened is, if you read the Bible in Genesis, you notice that God created man twice. And it also says he replenished the earth, or actually says they. but it says Elohim in some versions. It's God in another version. But the Hebrew word is Elohim, which is plural. So that's why it says there's even remnants of that where it says, let us make man in our image. It doesn't say let us make man. It says let us make man in our image, denoting to me anyway, signifying to me that that man already existed. They just changed him and made him in their image. But you see two creation stories of man. Man and woman were first created from the dust. And then Adam was by himself. He didn't have a partner. And God said, well, it's not right for you to not have anybody, because Lilith took off. And so they created Eve, and they created Eve out of his rib. And Eve was more subservient and demonized throughout history. The woman is, the female is, because the female energy is wisdom. The male energy, strength. The female energy is wisdom. Now, you can have strength in one hand, and if that's all you have, then you have a society like we've created and a religious structure that we've created that goes around and persecutes people, that thinks they have to kill each other because their God's better. And it's same thing that goes on in the locker rooms about whose package is bigger. You know, that's basically what we have going on with the religions and with politics and things like that, because it's so polarized to the masculine energy. We need to have the female energy, which is the wisdom. Now, what happened is that Lilith realized that we were slaves. We weren't living in paradise. We were created to mine gold and to mine resources in the Garden of Eden. That's why in the book of Genesis, it says, go to this land because it's rich in onyx and gold. What did we need onyx and gold back then for? The gods needed onyx and gold, not us. I mean, it's even in the Bible. So you don't even have to look at these other texts in order to realize that this was the case. And Lilith was smart enough to realize, no, hey, Adam, come on, look, we're enslaved. It didn't have anything to do with having sex and being on top. What it had to do with is that Lilith was trying to communicate to Adam, we're slaves, so we need to leave. And Adam was like, no, I'm not. I'm perfectly happy here. The most hopelessly who's enslaved is a man that believes he's free. And so she took off. She was expelled from the garden or whatever happened. And then Eve came along, and Eve was more subservient. But then Eve was given the tree of knowledge of good and evil. And then, see, a lot of people will argue with me and say, well, it wasn't the tree of knowledge. It was the tree of knowledge of good and evil. Fair enough. I'll give you that. But what happens when you eat from the tree of knowledge of good and evil? Then you understand what evil is. Then you can recognize when evil is being done to you. A lot of people take eating from the tree of knowledge of good and evil as to the ability to do evil. No, it's not. It's the ability to recognize evil. And so when you know that you are enslaved, because slaves are naked. And so that's why Adam and Eve went to God and they said, well, we were naked, and so we put clothes on. Well, how did you know you were naked?
Right.
Because we have the knowledge of good and evil now. We know that we're being enslaved.
Right. It's a whole ball of wax that, I mean, and sometimes I sit back and I really wonder, because I truly believe that we, this race that we are, this human race that we are, we do descend from the gods. We were put here to be slaves. I mean, we are a DNA. Well, we'll be right back on that note. Right here on the Truth Frequency Radio Network, Kbeach, 88.1 FM. We'll be right back here. Stick around another 45 minutes or so. 88.1. Great. Like the best. It's the best that they've heard it.
Facebook.
You are now tuned into the Truth Frequency.
We are TFR.
Truth Frequency Radio.
He's a real nowhere man, sitting in his nowhere land, making all his nowhere plans for nobody. Doesn't have a point of view, knows not where he's going to. Isn't he a bit like you and me? Nowhere land, please listen, you don't
All righty, guys and gals, we are back 10, 15, 16 seconds on the dial right here, Kbeach. I want to make sure that that you guys can hear me out there. Do I get the thumbs up from my manager? Yes, I do. The general manager says thumbs up, guys. We are back, 32 degrees of insanity. Donny Gilson here on Kbeach. I am so excited to be here, guys. I mean, this is just absolutely phenomenal. Not only do I get to go to a wonderful school, California State University in Long Beach, but I also get to be part of this wonderful family down here at Kbeach at 88.1 FM right here in Los Angeles and Long Beach. This is just phenomenal. I feel like I'm back in radio, really, not doing the old pirate radio going around to an undisclosed location in Long Beach, but I'm actually here doing it right from a studio. The phenomenal studio, by the way. We have a phenomenal studio here. We just got a whole bunch of money sent to the studio, so we're getting new equipment left and right. A lot of things happening here. We have such great programming here. After my show, we have this sex-related show that's broadcasted live on Wednesday nights as a repeat after my show tonight. So if you are listening on KFRT. On Truth Frequency Radio. If you want to listen to us over on Kbeach, all you have to do is go to kbeach.org, and you can listen to us live. You can download an app on the Google App Store. You can download an app on the iTunes Store. And right here for Kbeach is absolutely phenomenal. And, of course, you can listen to us live over there at truthfrequencyradio.com. So we are global, worldwide. You can like our like pages on Facebook. You can find me at www.32degreesofinsanity.com, and then I'll lead you to my Facebook page, my like page, and all that stuff, because we want to have fun. That's what we want to have here. We don't want to fearmonger. We want to inform you on what's happening out there, but we want to also have fun with it and know that, you know what, things are going to happen. Crap's going to happen. It's just going to happen. And we have to look beyond that. We need to look at more of a positive light. And if we can do that collectively, I really have faith in humanity, big time. But with that being said, I want to bring Ben back to the show. Ben, you there?
Yes.
You know, Ben, so, you know, people have been listening to the show that are some loyal followers and everything. But, you know, you and I have been talking about this whole job thing, because the job market's pretty bad out there, too. And have you found anything?
Yes, I actually do have good news on that front.
You got a job.
Yeah, I got a job. It's a part-time job, so I'm still looking for additional work. But
and what
at least I'm off the unemployment block.
That's good. What are you doing?
I'll be just doing some custodial work.
Oh, well, it's not what you wanted, but you know, it's money. It's coming in because didn't you just have a little kid? Just had a new kid, right?
No kids.
No kids.
Yeah.
Okay, well then you don't have to worry about that. you know, a terrible thing today happened, and this kind of ties into a lot of things that we were talking about. But you know, when at the first part of the show, we kind of were playing a rebroadcast. And if you guys want to listen to any of the rebroadcasts of 32 Degrees of Insanity, you can find us. You can listen to the archives on Truth Frequency Radio Network. It is a subscription base, but you can listen to all of our stuff on Truth Frequency, and it's only a few bucks a month to listen to it.
Well, we have the latest shows for free.
And you have all the latest shows for free,
Yeah.
right? And
Yeah. It cuts down on bandwidth costs. And so, as you can tell by the clock, we have a long format clock, which is breaks at the top and bottom of the hours. So that's why we do it like that, because we cut back on the costs, and we also don't have to go around and find advertisers. So it helps us with bandwidth costs for sure.
Oh, fantastic. And, you know, we've got a great Chris, from the bottom up, you built this website. I have to say, it's an outstanding website. Everybody here, when I've showed the Truth Frequency Radio Network website, they're like, wow, that is really cool. You know?
Thank you.
And you have been working hard. You're also on the Genesis Communications Network, right?
Yes, on Saturdays and Sundays from 2 to 5 Pacific time.
And you might be moving into a later time. Is that kind of a...
Well, I was thinking about doing our show live on our network at a later time, and then giving it to Genesis as pre-recorded, because it's a big deal to change, because we've got affiliates and all that good stuff. But it doesn't matter whether we're live or pre-recorded. But the energy just feels a lot better at night.
It does, doesn't it?
Yeah, it's different.
When I created 32 Degrees of Insanity, a lot of people out